Hey, greetings, everyone. Lieutenant Colonel Alan West, Senior Fellow at the Media Research Center. I just got to ask, what is going on in the United States of America right now? In the 59 years of my life, I would have never thought that I would see what is happening in America, where we have these anarchist groups, where we have these Marxist groups that are running around rampant all over the United States of America, ripping down our monuments, ripping down our memorials, and basically undermining our constitutional republic. And yet we sit paralyzed, not doing anything about it. No one is standing up and discussing the absolute absurdity of what is happening in the United States of America. And think about it. We have these two organizations, one of them, Antifa, which has been designated as a terrorist organization, a domestic terrorist organization. You know what that means? That means that every single person that is donating money to Antifa, now you are in violation of U.S. statute and code. You are providing material support and comfort to an enemy. You are aiding and abetting a terrorist organization. So why is it that we are not cutting off the resourcing? Why are we not freezing the accounts of people that are providing resource support to Antifa? When I look at this autonomous zone that has been set up in Seattle, Washington, all of a sudden these young people are coming up with weapons and ammunition and things of this nature. Well, let me tell you something. I just recently finally got the clearance for a tax stamp for my 1945 45 Thompson short barrel rifle. It took me almost 10 months. Now, I'm a law-abiding, legal, gun-owning American citizen. I'm a former member of the United States House of Representatives, a 22-year veteran of the United States military, retired as a lieutenant colonel. And it took me almost 10 months to get a weapon that I legally purchased. How are these weapons showing up in the hands of these young anarchists in Seattle? And where is the BATF? See, I remember back some time ago when the Tea Party, a constitutional conservative grassroots movement, arose. And yet the power of the federal government was unleashed against them. The IRS and other agencies, they were beaten down. Everyday Americans had their privacy invaded, their lives assailed. But yet we can't do anything against a designated domestic terrorist organization. And now we see what is happening in our nation's capital, where they now have gone onto federal land and attacking another monument to one of the presidents of the United States of America. And we're just sitting around idly doing nothing about it. And I'm tired of this Black Lives Matter organization. They don't care about Black lives. They have admitted that they are a trained Marxist organization. And that's who they are. And when you think about Marxism, it is a philosophy that is the antithesis of who we are in this constitutional republic, these United States of America. I understand freedom of speech. I understand freedom of expression. I understand people having the right to be able to believe in whatever political ideology they wish. But when you are seeking wholeheartedly to undermine our nation, that's called sedition. And we need to deal with that appropriately. And when you consider the corporations and businesses, over $460 million that have flowed into the coffers of Black Lives Matter, those funds need to be seized. Because Black Lives Matter is nothing but a lighter version of Antifa. It is also a domestic terrorist organization. Now, why is it that so few people are standing up and saying these very simple, true facts? Why is it that we're so afraid of standing up to these organizations? Why is it that we're going to sit around and allow this, what we see happening in America, to happen on our watch? This has to end. President Trump, this is a leadership moment. This is not about worrying what the New York Times, the Washington Post, or any of the other leftist media outlets are going to say. Because we here at the Media Research Center, we track what the leftist media does, and we know their hypocrisy. But it is time for us to stand up. Stand up for the rule of law and not be forced into surrender to the rule of the mob, because that's really what is happening. If you want to compare what is going on in the United States of America to any other period in history that we can pretty much so recall right now, this is the mid-1930s in Germany. These groups are no different from the SA, the brown shirts that used to roam the streets. What we see happening in America is no different from Kristallnacht that was going on there. And when you consider how they are trying to undermine our Judeo-Christian faith heritage and all of the traditions and the principles and the foundations upon which this nation was established, this is an ideological civil war. This is a cultural battle that we're in, and we cannot afford to lose this. I'm out here in El Paso, Texas, and I met a couple last night from Poland, and they came up to me and they said, "Colonel, we came here because we believed in America and all that it stood for. How is it that America is going in the opposite direction?" It's time for us to turn into the wind. It's time for us to face this challenge. It's time for us to shut down this anarchist and Marxist groups that we see roaming across our great nation. It's time for us to find our courage, our conviction, our commitment, and our character. Let me close by saying this. On 31 July 1982, I took an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, to bear true faith and allegiance to the same. I took that obligation freely without any purpose of evasion or mental reservation, so help me God. That oath has no statute of limitations. Antifa, Black Lives Matter, you're my enemy because you seek to destroy that which I love and that which I took an oath to support and defend. Fight's on, and I'm ready.